Prepare cheese Splendido is on the barbecue. All I do is lightly brush the crust with hot pepper-infused olive oil and place it on the grill for 2 or 3 minutes. I make sure that I turn it frequently to prevent burning, and when the cheese on the Splendido is bubbling, I take it off the grill, cut it into wedges, and serve it with a goat's cheese butter that I make with 2/3 of a cup of the President's Choice goat's cheese and a 1/3 cup unsalted butter. Believe me, this recipe is so easy and so good. Few neighborhoods are blessed with a restaurant like Scaramouche, which is unconventionally situated in an elegant apartment building on a hill overlooking downtown Toronto. It's in this slightly out-of-the-way place that you'll find Chef Keith Froggatt, who trained at Claridge's in London. We love the food at Scaramouche, and since it's within walking distance of our home, it's a particularly popular destination for Terry and I.
Hello, my name's Keith Froggatt. I'm standing in the kitchen at the Scaramouche Pasta Bar and Grill, and I'm going to create a pizza topping for this Splendido crust using a Vidalia onion. So when you cut your onion, don't cut it this way, cut it this way, vertically with the lines. This way you have shorter pieces which are easier to eat. It goes into a heavy bottom pan with some extra virgin olive oil. It goes onto a low flame, and it'll take around 35 to 40 minutes to cook. At which stage it will look like this. When it's looking like that in the pan, you splash in a little balsamic vinegar just to pick up the flavors. Take your Splendido crust, spread it with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Take your onions and spread those around evenly, not too thickly because you don't want the dough to become soggy. Black olives, which have been chopped and pitted. Finally, some gorgonzola cheese. Sprinkle it with some fresh thyme, and that will then go into a preheated oven, a hot oven around 500 degrees, and it'll take about 5 minutes. This is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. It may not look very visual, but it'll taste fantastic when it comes out. So here we have it. After 10 minutes or so in the hot oven, it's nice and golden brown, the cheese is melted. Slip it onto the board. Drizzle with a little bit of olive oil. It's just come from the oven, nice and crisp. And there we have caramelized onion and gorgonzola Splendido.
Every week across North America, 1.5 million people tune in for a half hour of Pasquale's Kitchen with TV's famous singing chef, Pasquale Carpino. Now that's one popular chef. He really is a trained operatic tenor, so don't be surprised if his recipes tend to include the occasional operatic aria. Pasquale's recipes take almost no time to prepare, but your friends will think you've spent all day in the kitchen. Let's watch Pasquale work his magic with the Splendido.
Ciao, my friend. Today I come home with your wife because today we find it President's Choice Splendido pizza crust. We're going to prepare it today. Pizza alla Adriatico, alla Mediterranea. And we have some olives. So olives is a nice bite, you see. We have some mushroom here. That's brown cremini. Oh, that's nice. Try to slice, not quickly as possible, because in anything it's good to take time, you know. When you eat the President's Choice, my friends, it make you feel us like a president ourselves, you know that. It's good. And I add about a cup of shredded or grated mozzarella now, some green pepper now. Oh, and you can slice some red pepper too. Oh, it tastes good, it looks good, you know, because you know, the eyes is bigger than the mouth is. You slice them up, put it up there. So what do we have? What do we miss? I add 1 tin of anchovies, you know, President's Choice. It's the best. And then a little extra virgin olive oil, President's Choice. And we bake them up in the chow chow. In 10-15 minutes, you have a pizza coming from the pizza country. That's nice. So easy, huh? So I wish you buon appetito. And I hope you try, because once you try, you never stop again.
Nobody should come to Toronto without seeing our new Sky Dome Stadium, but unfortunately, few of our visitors are lucky enough to enjoy dinner at Sky Dome's Founders Club. This exclusive restaurant is open to members only, but since Canada's wunderkind chef, Jamie Kennedy, is the club's newly installed executive chef, I strongly recommend that when you're in Toronto, you beg, borrow, or steal an invitation to the Founders Club.
Hi, I'm Jamie Kennedy. I'm the executive chef at the Founders Club in Toronto, and I have a recipe for you using Splendido flatbread. Mine's an hors d'oeuvre. It's called baked feta Splendido with black olive paste. Here's how you do it. Take one of these Splendido flatbreads, sprinkle generously with extra virgin olive oil. Take some herbs. I use rosemary in this recipe, and generously sprinkle them as well. Feta cheese, crumbled, preferably Greek feta. Now, it's simply a matter of taking this and baking for approximately 5 to 7 minutes. While the flatbread is baking in the oven, we can proceed to the next stage, which involves using the Cuisinart and making the olive paste. You start with the olives and you pour them in. Start it up. Add some finely chopped garlic and some fine quality olive oil. Some chicken stock, or in this case it's tomato bouillon. Black pepper and salt. Process for approximately 30 seconds and turn the machine off. Okay, I've finished preparing the olive paste, so the Splendido should be ready to come out of the oven. Oh, doesn't that look great? Our Splendido is ready. It's been baking in the oven for about 10 minutes. So now we're ready to slice and arrange around the olive paste. So now I'm going to slice the Splendido while it's still very warm and place the slices around the platter. Now we're putting our last piece on and we're ready to serve. And this is what you do. That's delicious.
One of the greatest gifts you can give your children is to show them as early in their lives as possible how easy it is to prepare fantastic food. How can you do that? Well, just show them these tips on how to prepare a variety of Splendidos from Roberto Martella, the owner of Grano's, one of Toronto's most convivial eateries. Then give them some Splendidos and turn them loose. Incidentally, if your friends don't take you to Grano's when you come to visit Toronto, then I seriously urge you to re-examine the friendship.
Hi, my name is Roberto from Grano, and today I'd like to make for you some variations on the classic Italian pizza margherita using the Splendido pizza crust. Beginning very simply, we take a cookie sheet and some President's Choice extra virgin olive oil. Making sure the cookie sheet is covered will facilitate getting the pizza off after you take it from the oven. And we take some President's Choice tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, ladle it on, and just work it in like this. We found using this pizza that we needn't add any oil to the top of the crust because it's very, very moist. And here present as mozzarella cheese, sprinkled on very, very lightly and easily, and topped afterwards by green basil. Okay, we're going to take some grilled zucchini. We're just adding the zucchini on quite liberally, some grilled eggplant, just placed intermittently to give it a sense of design and style. And in the center, we've chosen to put some grilled mushrooms and roasted red peppers. All these things could have been prepared very easily the night before on a barbecue, in your home kitchen, on a grill, or even just sauteed rather than grilled. And here we go. Now it's ready, and I'd recommend in the oven about 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. While it's baking off, and we have friends and family close at hand, we have decided to make a few other ones here. As you can see, once again, I've continued with the basic theme, tomato sauce. I've used some grilled chicken, could have been from today, could have been from last night, grilled mushrooms, and gorgonzola. If you like, we could drizzle it with a bit of hot oil to taste. Try it, it's excellent. And our classic pizza margherita, the red tomato sauce, the white bocconcini cheese, mozzarella cheese, and the green basil. Sprinkle a bit of Parmigiano to give it a little salt flavor. And once again, using your imagination, If you like, drizzle it with a bit of oil. In this case, I've chosen the President's Choice garlic oil. Here we are out of the oven. A few short moments, thanks to Splendido and the President's Choice products, we've been able to create 3 wonderful pizzas. The basic pizza margherita and variations on the theme with grilled or sauteed mushrooms, chicken, vegetables. One tip though, think about preparing your stuff in advance, either grilling them or sauteing them the night before, or saving some of those leftovers. The only limitation is your imagination. Salute, buon appetito.
How much does it cost in your city to order a phone-in pizza? Probably a minimum of $10, and then you wait for an hour, and what do you end up with? A cold pizza with the same old boring toppings. Here are some ideas from Wendy Baskerville on how to prepare some exotic Splendidos in 15 minutes or less at a fraction of the cost of ordinary phone-in pizza. And here's another tip. You can use Splendido right out of your freezer without defrosting. All you have to do is add another 2 or 3 minutes in the oven.
Hi, I'm Wendy Baskerville from Babette's Feast Catering. Today I'd like to show you something we found for the use of Splendido bread from President's Choice. It's a classical bruschetta. We take a loaf of cheese Splendido, we brush it really well with President's Choice olive oil with basil. It's important to brush it as much as possible so the bread doesn't get soggy. We take a mixture of tomato, basil, garlic, Parmesan cheese, sprinkle it lightly over the surface of the bread. It doesn't have to be heavily covered. Throw it in the oven for 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, while the tomato bruschetta is in the oven, let me show you some other things we've found to do with Splendido bread. This is a loaf of plain Splendido that we've brushed with Memories of Gilroy sauce. Then we've sprinkled fresh herbs over it. Any mixture of fresh herbs will do. Lots of Parmesan cheese, and you have Gilroy focaccia. For this one, we've taken a mixture of mushrooms, shiitake, oyster, field mushrooms, and crimini mushrooms, and sauteed them slowly in some President's Choice olive oil with lemon. Then we've sprinkled them over a brushed Splendido bread. In this case, I used a little more Gilroy sauce, sprinkled it with some fresh chopped thyme and Parmesan cheese, and you have a wild mushroom bruschetta. For those of you who like anchovies, this one we brushed with President's Choice garlic olive oil, and we sliced some President's Choice black olives, and we slow sauteed some Vidalia onions, sprinkled them over a Splendido bread, gently sprinkled some chopped anchovy, as much or as little as you like, and you have our version of pissaladière. So here it is, classical bruschetta. Our tomato bruschetta has been in the oven for about 4 minutes at 450 degrees. We bring it out, slide it onto a plate, and sprinkle a little chopped parsley over it to give it a little color. Sliced in wedges and served with a big glass of white wine.
My wife Terry has cooked with a number of France's 3-starred chefs, so she knows the real thing when she sees it. In her opinion, a trip to Toronto isn't complete unless you've eaten with Mark McEwen. You'll find him at North 44, a new chic eatery in the Young Eglinton area, and he's also associated with Pronto on Mount Pleasant. Here's one of Mark's recipes that quickly turns a Splendido into a sophisticated alternative to ordinary bread.
Hi, I'm Mark McEwen of North 44 in Pronto. We're here today preparing a Splendido crust. The idea behind it, basically, the premise is to replace bread at the dinner table. We've taken some very simple ingredients. It's a 5-minute preparation, and it's designed to replace the sliced bread at the dinner table. So why don't we get underway? We're using President's Choice olive oil. We're doing a light brushing of it, not too much. What you don't want is puddles to develop on the bread. Small pinch of salt, evenly around on the dough. Very, very little. A little bit of cracked black pepper. We're going to distribute sauteed onions around the crust. Just a nice, even, loose coating. What you don't want is too much preparation on top of the dough. It should be very, very light. And the raisins, which we've soaked in balsamic vinegar, we're just going to distribute those again. All around, not too many. A little bit of fresh serrano pepper, which is cut in a fine julienne. Just a light sprinkling. And then roasted garlic, which we've roasted the cloves and sliced them very thinly. We're going to put a nice layer of those over top. And a little bit of fresh rosemary. If you don't have rosemary, you could use fresh thyme or oregano. And then at that stage, we're going to take pecorino romano, and we're just going to do a light grating over top. Again, keeping in mind, it's just a dinner accompaniment, so it shouldn't be too filling. And then at this stage, you can bake it in the oven for 4 or 5 minutes. You could do it on the barbecue by placing it on the top rack and shutting the oven door and leave it in for 2 to 3 minutes, and it would bake on the bottom and the top sufficiently. Or you could do it on top of your barbecue without closing the lid if you wanted to. Okay, and after 5 minutes in the oven, there you have it, the Splendido crust. Very simple ingredients. Designed basically as a bread substitute at the table. It's not too filling. It's easy to produce. I hope you enjoy the recipe.
Since we discovered the Splendido, we've tried it in hundreds of recipes. My personal favorite was created by Alison Jarvest, who works in our President's Choice test kitchens. The key to this recipe is our new Splendido prosciutto salami. If you look closely, you can see chunks of real prosciutto in the middle. Forget about pepperoni. Our exclusive prosciutto salami is the best prepared meat product I've ever tasted, and its unique sweet and sour flavor is perfect for pizza. Alison prepares this pizza with the new 6-inch small Splendido. First, she puts some President's Choice chopped garlic on the Splendido, adds a little garlic-infused olive oil, and brushes it evenly over the surface. Then she adds the sliced prosciutto salami and some red onion. Next, she sprinkles on some grated Parmesan cheese and then covers it with a mixture of grated fontina and mozzarella cheeses. In my opinion, the fontina is essential. Finally, she garnishes it with chopped basil and the President's Choice salsa. When you cut this small Splendido into wedges, it makes the perfect party finger food. Well, that's it. I want to thank the chefs who have shown us how easy it is to use the Splendido to create great tasting meals in a matter of minutes. And when you come to Toronto, I strongly recommend that you make a special effort to eat with these chefs. Believe me, you won't be disappointed.